yellow on them.
And we are live. J Takashi, MAC Mac. This is Takashi Talk Media Live. We are going to be discussing about Marvel's upcoming projects and the series so far, the Marvel journey so far, with talks about Daredevil Born Again, Captain America Brave New World, the MCU phase so far, Avengers, Doomsday type concept art, and other leaks as well. And then also, hopefully, get down the line of DC Universe Studios projects with James Gunn leading the forefront. In anywhere from Superman to Green Lantern, and a few other projects. Jay, you there?
Yeah, I am right here. What's up, everybody? J Takashi here. This is going to be a stream mediated by Marcus, and like I said, we're going to use some content right now. I'm kind of like enjoying the show, but like I said, I'll be giving my 2 cents on the topics that he's going to be talking about. So, like I said, show be respectful and comments. Let's have a decent stream.
Yeah. And, one of the things that we want to talk about clearly is it's already been out for a while, the movie, but Captain America, it's been out for a little over a month now, and I wanted to give time a little bit just for people that haven't watched it yet or waited to watch it until streaming services came out and in theaters as well, and understand that the movie, it is what it was. The Captain America is the movie that we were used to seeing Steve Rogers, aka Chris Evans, play on the mantle. Now that it was passed on to Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon, after Endgame, and when they had their own series with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, with Bucky, aka Sebastian Stan, the actor, and picking up the mantle after that. When that series ended, a lot of people who watched this movie kind of got the vibes from people that watched it, thinking that it was like a sequel more to The Incredible Hulk, because you were picking up after the Thunderbolt Thaddeus Ross being the Secretary of Defense in Civil War, and even in Endgame and in Infinity War. And watching clearly the leader in Tim Blake Nelson's Stern's character being deformed after the incident with Abomination, aka the Special Forces soldier, who was at an hell-bent mission to capture Dr. Banner, aka the Hulk. But then clearly the actor William Hunt passed away and wasn't able to reprise his role. God rest his soul. But we had Harrison Ford come in. Now, there are certain issues with how they were portraying the character of the leader, and also Harrison Ford's version of President Ross, because he became elected president. And as you see, Sam Wilson playing Captain America was an issue, and people were just wondering, hey, well, people that didn't watch the series on Disney Plus, were they going to understand certain viewpoints of where we're coming from? So it felt like it was a fill-in. It felt like it was issues where we couldn't be able to pick up where maybe people didn't watch the series on Disney Plus. So I felt like it was still going in that phase of Sam Wilson either doubting himself or maybe thinking if it was right for him to be chosen to be Captain America and not taking the serum and not being a super soldier and completely. And so it was just one of those things too. It kind of threw you off a little bit and kind of had that lack of being that confident person who understood his role at the end of the series show in Falcon and Winter Soldier to being part of now Captain America: Brave New World, his own standalone movie. In my honestly humble opinion, it was more of an espionage spy movie with some action, but maybe not enough action. And I think some of the best scenes where the scene was where Bucky comes up and shows up towards like the later half of the movie, and then also clearly when the Red Hulk is going full berserk. And then you had the other scenes with, Torres, which is the new Falcon, which was his right hand man also in Falcon and Winter Soldier. And they're still going on with the Sokovian Accords and stuff, and they had the element of adamantium being thrown in with the Celestial that was on the Pacific, the Indian Ocean, on that side of the globe. And we had elements too of referencing maybe Captain America, Steve Rogers. You had other instances where you thought like the Serpent Society, when you had Giancarlo Esposito's character show up, and then it was just a build up. But then for that post-credit scene to be kind of like a disappointment, it was kind of a letdown a little bit, only because we kind of already knew like, hey, we're already in the multiverse saga, and they're waiting for maybe the events of Avengers Doomsday to show up. And as you see the transgression of the movie, you see Captain America, aka Sam Wilson, finally be able to come to terms with who he is again, and which was like a great runaround again compared to the Disney Plus series of Falcon and Winter Soldier. But I wanted to get your thoughts too. People there in the comments or in the chat as well. Wanted to get their thoughts as well, or any comments, questions, critiques, or criticisms of the movie. I kind of ranked this on the bottom of the Captain America movies. Again, but like people need to understand too, like Sam Wilson's character is different than Steve Rogers' character. Steve Rogers grew up in the World War II era in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, to being here on ice and waking up 70 years plus later. And Sam Wilson is from this generation, this era, and a whole different personality and character. So they kind of are two individually different people. People kind of being mad at the whole oh well, how come Bucky didn't get it? Bucky was going through his own issues, his own PTSD, his own atonement for certain things he's done in the past, and to pick up the mantle properly for Steve to give the shield to Sam. I understand why he probably went with him. Me personally would have wanted Bucky to get it, but I understand the landscape and the scope of what was to come in the MCU. It made sense to give it to Sam as opposed to Bucky. And Bucky said it himself. He didn't make a mistake choosing you, and he's the reason why he chose him. So yeah, but I wanted to get Jay Takashi's thoughts too, if Jay's there.
I am here, letting you get your take off, dude. Like I said, it's your show, dude. So I'm
yeah, I just gotta get your side too. We gotta get people in the panel.
Hey man, to me, Anthony Mackie got fucked over personally. None of the Captain Americas had to do fucking reshoots for multiple directors for this bullshit. And had the Russos done it, it'd have been a success. So let's just keep it real on that. Because I find it funny you do that with his film, but all the other ones didn't have that. I still like Anthony Mackie as I would say I like him as Cap personally. Because I like his suit, I like the design, all that shit, and that he's a set above the rest. He's a different type of Captain America that deals with the issues and stuff like that. Torres is fine. He just needs more screen time, in my opinion. And Post credit scene wise, it's like just sets up for the multiverse or whatever, or something like that, or something big supposed to come, so whatever. Um, yeah, this is to be expected when you do reshoots. Reshoots, it's like Morbius and Suicide Squad. The only thing is, it's not a trash film or anything like that. It's like okay, and I'm like, that's not good. Okay is not good enough. You need good to great, if anything.
Mediocre. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say mediocre. I'm just gonna say okay, like subpar, because mediocre is like below okay for me. But it is what it is. That's all I gotta say. I don't really have really much to say on that, guys. Like I said, reshoots fuck everything over. I'm sorry. And like I said, did that to Anthony Mackie's for Captain America film and you fucked it up. But you didn't do that to like, my man Chris Hemsworth. I mean, not Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans shit when he was Captain America. So I find that funny. And I'll keep it real on that because it's the truth. Because most of all the caps really slap. So, that being said, those are my thoughts. No more, no less.
And the reshoots, right? The reshoots were an issue. The reshoots were an issue because it was like reshot like 3 or 4 times at least. They had the original concept for what the leader was going to look like, more comic accurate, and that didn't pan out to what it was going to be. And the Tim Blake Nelson, the actor who played the leader in the movie, he said he was trying to go for the more practical, actual look, but that was kind of thrown off as well. It didn't really show the leader at his abilities of what he's actually capable of doing as much. He was calculated. He was moving the chess pieces behind the scenes. However, the leader in the comics and the animation, series, all that kind of stuff, how he moves, you can tell that he could do clearly a whole lot more, but they didn't really put that in this movie. He might get it in a future movie, maybe, if there's a build of villains that maybe team up or something. But yeah, that was a lack thereof. And just the storylines originally, like I wanted to see the other scripts, what they had in store, because you saw Betty Ross for the ending of the movie. You saw President Ross try to reach out to his daughter more than once in the movie, and then she wasn't answering. Then she finally shows up at the end. Go ahead.
I want to correct something. I like Red Hulk. I like Red Hulk a lot. How he looked amazing, awesome. I like that he took out the freaking Pentagon and the statue monument. Like, it was awesome. This shit was awesome. So let's get it. So that's why I said there's some. So that's why I said okay. It's okay, film, but there's still some good moments. The difference is I wish it was dragged out a little more.
Yeah.
In terms of like that fight, because that is like okay. This is the part where I'm awake. This is where everything is cool. Besides the aerial battle that Sam had, him and Torres, when they're near that Celestial and shit like that, like it shows awesome. And they're fighting those jets.
Yeah. That was probably the cool thing about the Red Hulk, to be honest, because me knowing that like the Red Hulk is probably one of my favorite characters in Marvel, along with a plethora of other villains and heroes. It was a long time coming. I wish they would have put the Red Hulk a while back in another, not even if it wasn't a Hulk movie, just implement him in the MCU earlier, like other characters too. We wish they would have done that, and they finally were able to. I just wish they would have been around other characters and their interactions with other characters like Iron Man and Cap, Steve Rogers, or even with Banner Hulk. And Thor and stuff like that. Just interactions with a whole plethora of other characters, whether it was in Civil War or Avengers, Ultron, or something in that kind of scope, or even in Infinity War, even back then. It would have been awesome. We never got a chance to see it because of where the characters were at in their arcs, and also copyrights, maybe other property rights issues that they were going through. But now we got him. Now he's here. We'll see what happens going forward. And we'll see what's of President Ross, being in the raft, because Betty Ross visits him at the end. And then we got to see Isaiah Bradley, which was considered one of the OG Captain Americas after, Steve Rogers, going into the Vietnam and all that kind of era. of that war after Steve went in the ice. There was another Captain America who was being experimented on and thrown in prison for 30 plus years. I'm glad you got to see him, and because he kind of was the Winter Soldier Bucky of Civil War in this movie, being infiltrated and taken over by the leader in a way where he could control them. So, glad he was exonerated, released, and proven innocent. And he still got it, man. That's an interesting character too, especially when you see him in Falcon and Winter Soldier, what he went through, and then talking to him now. So that's awesome. But we'll see what happens in the future, because the MCU is still in that kind of roaming towards doomsday, trying to maybe clean up the mess that it's made the last couple of years. And hopefully, we get to see the up and coming bigger, better projects. I think the last good project that I saw was Deadpool and Wolverine, besides Daredevil Born Again and X-Men 97. Those were like the last good staple projects that stabilized the MCU more, in my opinion. I don't know, I can't speak for everybody else, but I know that helped me out and get more hope for what's to come, because in between they kind of had the saturation of mediocre or okay movies, or just barely at maybe being decent. But we'll see what goes after this too. Anything else you want to add to, Jay? Post-credit scene or other characters in the movie, or anything that stood out to you?
Nothing else. I'm good. Marcus?
I'm here. Let me just, okay. I was doing something. And then I think the next area we want to talk about is, I think what Jay has been trying to talk about, and so have I, and that is clearly the series of Daredevil Born Again. It's been a great series so far. I think it's been one of the damn, well needed, much anticipated, very patiently waiting for them to be acquired acquisition for the MCU to implement them in the MCU. And I'm glad that finally watching Charlie Cox and the mantle of Matt Murdock, and Devil from Hell's Kitchen, Man Without Fear, and it definitely started with a bang from episode 1 in the first 10 minutes, the epilogue, to episode 3, dealing with White Tiger, Hector Ayala. So it was definitely a breath of fresh comic air, because of the fact that the history between Daredevil and Bullseye, Wilson Fisk, Karen and Foggy, all these characters coming back, and then even the symbolism of the Punisher's logo, and certain cops who were trying to be vigilantes or corrupt or trying to take matters into their own hands. You got good cops doing bad things, bad cops doing good things, or even in the middle, in between, bad cops just doing bad things or good cops just trying to be good. And there's still that Sokovian Accord type of implement of that whole superhuman registration type act. Then Wilson Fisk running for mayor, and making sure that once he wins the mayor of New York City, banning vigilantes, and they can't do their sort of street justice, being a street tier level Marvel character such as Daredevil, and Punisher looming around the corner soon. I'm hoping he comes in within the next 2 or 3 episodes, because it is a 10 episode season. It was originally supposed to be an 18 episode season. Now we're here. The first 10 minutes of the first episode, for those who haven't watched it, these are some spoilers coming up. So just you see them hanging out at the bar that's known for cops and lawyers to frequent and just relax. And the next thing you know, there's a people getting shot, and it's actually sniped by Bullseye. So the sniper is Bullseye. He's shooting, and one of the people he shoots at towards the end of that scene is Foggy. And as Bullseye is fighting Daredevil throughout the bar, going up the stairs, Foggy gives out and he gives the last breath as Karen is right there looking at him. And Daredevil just yells and screams at Bullseye, why? And he gives him like a 4 combo hit, and then he kind of just throws him off the roof. That's him just letting go and stop holding back his punches, like sort of similar to what Andrew Garfield told Tom Holland's Spider-Man in Spider-Man No Way Home. I literally got that direct symbolism of what Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was telling Tom in that scene. So when I seen Daredevil do that, he's like, because there's a certain rule or law, like not ending a criminal's life like that. Heroes have that kind of conduct of a code. He said, I'm not going to stoop to their level. At that moment, he didn't care because he had just lost his best friend in Foggy. And for it to go like that, it just, and so he kind of gave in and gave up, threw his cowl down the building, and great shot too. So, but yeah, Matt Murdock being him, he gives up being a vigilante for a while, and he just does his job as the the lawyer from Hell's Kitchen. So yeah, that was the first episode. Then you see Wilson Fisk and his wife Vanessa, and her carrying the criminal enterprise or the underworld of it. And he makes his scene. He's eating his egg white omelet and his one asparagus. You see a little bit of a, hey, he's lost weight, he's gotten in better shape. Even though Kingpin, aka Wilson Fisk, is known as a more menacing, bigger physical presence when you're in scenes in comics, animation, and stuff, and even from Punisher and Daredevil before. Well, go ahead, Jay. Did you want to say anything before I keep going? You wanted to cover something as far as Daredevil Born Again?
No, I mean, you're hitting everything on the mark. I'm gonna say the first, because I want to talk about the first 3 episodes at least. So we're gonna talking about that. Good job for putting that up. I appreciate you. So yeah, the first 2 episodes are really, really good. And it is a slow build up to see if Daredevil will return, because it is called Born Again, and I'm enjoying the lawyer shit a lot personally. That's what was kind of missing, and like I guess like season 2 that people complained about, like it wasn't it was just more Daredevil than it was Matt Murdock. But the series is called Daredevil, but you have to find a way to balance out both. With this off-rip episode 1, we got everything that we wanted to see. He was in his old suit, doing his thing, and also they actually upped the action. The cinematography, I freaking love the hell out of that. Oh, and by the way, we got some comments. Oh, your Uncle Guns, man, I want to say something. Shout out to you for reading in the comments, man. Thank you, man. I'm sorry I didn't say anything. Or me and Marcus didn't say anything. It's on both of us. Let me see. They already made Murdoch do the walk of shame on She-Hulk. I agree with you. They already made Fisk cry on Echo. I'm already out. They're going to either change or delete the Punisher logo because reasons. Uncle Guns, don't give up on Daredevil though. Daredevil is relatively very good though. Like that, like I'm pretty sure you can count on that one. But the thing is, yeah. And here's the funny thing is, I didn't even watch Echo, so I'm not even worried about that. So I'm like, was not interested. Didn't give a damn.
What's up, Uncle Guns? Shout out to you, Uncle Guns.
But shout out to the comment, man. But yeah, everything that's like perfectly led up to them, episode 1 when they finally meet up after like 5 years had passed or something like that. Or no, not 5 years, a year had passed. Sorry about that, guys. Wrong in game. And Matt's still doing his thing. He's come up in the world, as Fisk has said, like you're not living in that loft and somewhere in Hell's Kitchen anymore. He's like, like Matt really came up. I ain't gonna lie. With his company and stuff like that, like he's got like his own business, his own lawyer business. He's got employees and things like that is crazy. I actually love the come up from Netflix start to where we are in MCU. Like that's a big jump from where he was. And like I said, with Fisk being the mayor, and him having the reputation that he has, because he was the kingpin of crime, literally is what he was. And there are some people who voted for him being mayor that are on his side, and then there's other people who will be like, yo, like the police force. They'll be like, yo, you didn't give a damn about New York, bro. So we don't trust. So I don't trust you, even though I'm the commissioner, head captain, whatever it is of the department. I'm not trusting you and things like that. And I love it because it's really showing you how, like, hey, some people got a brain in New York, where it's like, isn't this the same motherfucker that had like killed innocent people, terrorized streets, had people, had people working for him and things like that. So it's just, they do a good job of like balancing out, pacing out storylines that was from the previous Netflix series, and they brought it, and and they continue it here and give you some nuances to what's going on. But both characters are trying to make it, trying to do something different, and it's just I love that diner scene when they're just talking in episode 1. It's like literally one of my favorite scenes. The fact that these two who have direct opposition with one another in the past are like just sitting down talking to each other, you would actually never see that, not once. So yeah, off rip, episode 1 was amazing. Episode 2 follows him for, taking on the case of Hector. What's his name?
Hector Ayala. He plays the White Tiger vigilante.
Yeah. And guess what? That character in the books, White Tiger, his niece becomes White Tiger at one point, because the story is he always does pass away, and then she's White Tiger for like in the books for a long time. So eventually what happens is that his memory just passes on to his niece, to his family, through his family. Oh, Uncle Gunn said something. Hold on. Now I won't give up on Daredevil. Only one of the good few comic shows out there. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I agree with Uncle Gunn.
Thank you. Because Daredevil was like one of the best. If somebody asked me what was a better a TV series, The Flash or Devil, I'm like, Daredevil. Not in question. Unless they make Daredevil go, they won't do that, bro. They won't do that. The Charlie and my man John Bernthal.
Yeah, John Bernthal.
And Vincent D'Onofrio. They're not doing that to him. They're not doing that to them. Like those dudes, like those dudes hold up that show. Like most, I'm starting to see Punisher and Daredevil getting set up Daredevil season. Yeah, I hope so too, because I'm a Punisher dude. You know me. And I know because I know Good Guns and Marcus here are military, so they got a lot of investment in Punisher. So do I. I mean, I'm not military myself, but I love the character of Frank Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and great job too on that part for Jay also saying I'm part of Daredevil and all that, because you see Daredevil transgression, and he was literally considered probably the best Marvel live action series, I think, in current date. In my opinion, I think it is the best Marvel live action series so far.
Yeah.
And then Punisher's right behind him.
Yeah, Punisher's right behind him. Because if Punisher had more seasons, I would probably say Punisher, but I can't do that. I think they tie equally.
Yeah.
Even season 2 of Punisher, I do like a lot. I like the first one because it just follows off what we saw from Daredevil season 2 about the story, and then we get the full on. We get revelations, and also we get further exploitation of Billy, the brother who betrayed him, but also him about Frank coming back to being who actually fully embraces becoming the Punisher at the end of season 2. Literally wears the jacket and everything. Hence, which was a little tease at the very end.
Yeah.
And also, for the third best series, I would actually say Jessica Jones, the first season, literally. because that first
Yeah,
season very dark as hell, and you have the dude from Doctor Who on there. I keep being told that. So yeah, that
yeah,
was very psychological and very dark.
yeah.
It only
And I'll
falls off into two. So
yeah,
yeah.
and I'll say this about Daredevil One again, just to get back to that show. Episode two, because episode one wraps up clearly with uh, you know, Bullseye going to prison, so his character's going to be locked up at least for now, and then later he'll probably break out because the fact that he survived that fight at the end in the beginning of the first episode, thrown off the building, that kind of threw me. I was like, okay, you could take that type of damage, but in the comics, I don't, you know. But either way, then going to episode two, you see like Vanessa Fisk and Wilson Fisk, and then taking that therapy, couples therapy. But then you realize the woman that's being a therapist is the woman that Matt Murdock's character is dating, because one of his coworkers set him up to be in that realm. And it was funny just looking at the fact that where he came from when he was in the She-Hulk series, which was probably considered the worst live action series so far in the MCU, to seeing Matt Murdock now, especially after Karen left to San Francisco because of Foggy's passing and what Matt had gone through. And so yeah, that was something interesting from his personal life as the Matt Murdock persona. And then you see what happens in the case with Hector Ayala, who was witnessing two people beat up this man in the subway platform at night, and they didn't disclose themselves as being cops, but they were doing something fishy or underground. And then some of these vigilante cops or corrupt cops were holding that mantle, the logo of the Punisher. Either they just took inspiration from the Punisher, or they were trying to frame the Punisher in that kind of way. Because clearly Wilson Fisk is pushing to be mayor of New York and outlawing these vigilantes, and doing that kind of full on. He has some up his sleeves down his plans along the line. It's Wilson Fisk, in my opinion. Once that kind of villain, I think always a villain, in my opinion. It's just something that he's doing behind the scenes that I smell it. We're 3 episodes in. Well, 4th one comes out on Tuesday, clearly. Disney Plus at 6 p.m. Pacific. Eastern, I believe, will be 9 o'clock. And then Central, I think, would be 8 o'clock. For those who are trying to watch it. But yeah, it just turns with Hector Ayala, aka the White Tiger, but they don't know it yet because it's not really shown yet in the beginning of episode 3. It's not until you get to the later part of the episode you find out who he is. And he was just trying to stop these guys that were beating up a guy in the subway station at night. And so as the fight ensues, the guy gets fully thrown or stumbles onto the train tracks, as it wasn't even Hector that pushed him. He just stumbles over his other guy, his other partner that was a corrupt cop. And then at that moment, when that happens, that's when he gets arrested. And they're trying to say that he deleted the cop, that he did it on purpose, that he pushed him there. Clearly, no. The guy was saying they didn't tell me they were cops in the court until later, when they disclosed it later. And the guy that they were beating up on was an informant. But an informant for covering what, though? Was it drugs? Was it other crimes they were committing? Other stuff they were setting up? And that's why the dirty cops that were, having the same similar tattoo of the Punisher logo on their necks, or tagging, spraying on the walls, putting triggered on the word triggered on the Punisher logo. And then, the judge and the district attorney that's prosecuting Hector Ayala and Matt Murdock talking to Chambers, and they're like, hey, we're going to leave this part out of him being a vigilante because the district attorney was going to use it. And then other information came out. And then as they're trying to hunt down the witness that was also the person being the victim, being up by the cops are trying to find him and clearly delete him or end his life. And yeah, that's an issue, because clearly Matt Murdock finds out about it. He picks up, he uses his senses, and is there to save the guy and say, hey, they're here, they're coming to get you, you got to get out of here. He's like, and it's always in these of shows or movies where the guy hesitates the person that's actually trying to help him and warn him, and they kind of just waited off a little too long, but then he's still able to escape. And Matt being Matt Murdock, and the two cops that come in and break in, one of them was the guy from the original crime scene, and he's there to say, hey, where is he? He's like, where's who? He's like, oh, you know who. And then they end up having their little back and forth. They get physical. There's action scenes, which I recommend to go watch it, which is probably one of the best scenes in the episode. And then it just goes from there. Matt Murdock handles the situation, and boom. But the witness, who was the survivor and the victim, ends up getting away, and then they end up using him later in the witness stand for the trial, see if they're going to actually be able to prove his innocence or not in Hector Ayala's case. You with me so far, Jay? I don't know if Jay's there, but yeah, and so that's the thing about watching Daredevil Born Again, when that scene in the court trial, and then somehow they probably end up getting to the witness, somehow sweating him, says he was actually going to testify in defense of Hector Ayala, but somehow he ends up reneging on that and saying that the exact opposite, or saying that he didn't see this, he didn't see that, and it was kind of going to blow back and affect Hector Ayala's freedom in that way. So when they were actually able to speak to him, Matt Murdock had to pull in the stunt of, hey, this man, Hector Ayala, has actually been a guy that's helped out the police. He's donned the mantle of White Tiger as a vigilante, but a hero to others. So he's actually worked with the police, so why would he hurt somebody now? He didn't know X, Y, and Z, what they were doing completely. And for them to do that, it just showed that, Matt had to do that. That was like a get out of jail free card type thing, or like an ace that he had up his sleeve, if that's how you want to look at it. And it was very important for him to do that. He had to, because it was going to be for his freedom, or how law enforcement was going to deal with Hector Ayala, maybe on a personal side, being locked up in prison. So that happened, and that was able to help eventually down the line with witnesses and the jury, getting testimonies and stuff, and able to prove his innocence, which the judge was able to say, hey, that not guilty on the first degree, second degree, and third degree, and also clear on manslaughter and all that. And it was great for a moment, but then as soon as the very end of the scene, he puts on his suit of the White Tiger, after being said that they're not able to, they're not allowed to. And as soon as you see him walking down the street, or walking down the alley, he ends up getting shot. He gets shot in the head by somebody wearing the Punisher, with the shield, with the armor, body armor, and had his logo, the Punisher, and that's the scene ends. So it was just a hell of a way to show that, hey, nobody is safe in this series so far, because Foggy was taken out in the first episode, and then in the third episode, Hector Ayala's character. And I believe you see his niece in the stand during the courtroom process. And that could be her, that could be his daughter, either one. So yeah, that's where we have the show left off so far. So hopefully, people that haven't watched it, go watch it. And for those who have, you're anticipating the fourth episode like I am. Just wait till Tuesday. Any more words, Jay?
No, I just knew he was going to die in the episode, obviously, because Fizz said we can't have vigilantes here. It's the first thing he said in episode 1. I won't allow people in costumes running above the law type nonsense. He just doesn't want superheroes. And yeah, I think you forgot he made a Spider-Man reference. He talked about Spider-Man. Oh
yeah, he did. He did actually. Yeah, I remember that.
On the news.
I remember that.
On the news.
Yeah, on the news. Correct. Because I remember Wilson.
Speech.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool. Actually, I'm thanking you for reminding me too. For people that, when you watch the show, I believe it was the first or second episode where Wilson Fisk and Matt Murdock have that seat in the diner in the daytime, and they sit down and they're having that talk. and catching up with each other, reminiscing, and then also it had that very iconic, like in the movie Heat with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. They're kind of sitting across each other in that action movie or that thriller, crime drama. It had that iconic scene, kind of symbolism to that too. So for them to sit across each other, it was very interesting. But yeah, but thanks for bringing that up. And yeah, he did mention Wall Crawler, the guys in Spidey suits, and then also you have like the Punisher, you got like Daredevil himself and all that kind of stuff, and other people who are going to come into the show eventually later throughout the series. And I got a personal feeling that Bullseye, I think you might see him again later on in the series, maybe. But I'm hoping that Bernthal's character comes in the 4th or 5th episode sooner than later. But yeah, any more things you want to give out for the show, or anything you want to see from the show coming up, Jay?
Yeah. Yeah, just looking forward to more episodes. See what happens. I say whole cliffhanger. Like, we know that's not Punisher. Like, that's not Frank Castle. Frank Castle don't go around shooting his enemies. He only messes with some community of crime bosses. Anybody who's like is legitimately a bad person, like EPARs and people who are like I said, scum of the earth and things like that. Just terrible people. He doesn't do that to people who are helping out people. That's not Frank Castle's character at all. He's never done that. And even there are books that do tackle that, like, it was challenged to Frank made a mistake. Frank wouldn't do that, trust me. So hopefully the next episode introduces Frank Castle. I hope so, because I'm looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, and then also, if we wouldn't realize too that either this week or not next week, it'll be a double episode release. So if it's not this week where it's one episode, I think next week it'll be 2 episodes, or vice versa. But I remember I saw the calendar dates and I saw the releases for the episodes, and one of them is going to be a 2-episode week event. So, and I think later down the line in the season, another one like that as well. So we'll get that in the month of March and in the month of, I believe, April. So just be on the lookout for that. Yeah, but I think that's so far as far as the Captain America Brave New World, and then also with Daredevil. So far, that's what we've covered. And then also the upcoming other movie project, the Thunderbolts. So I hope that'll be a good one too, because I'm expecting that. If I would have known that now, what I know now about Captain America, I would have saved my money and just waited till it came out on streaming services. And then Thunderbolts, I think, will be a little bit better, in my opinion, just because of who the cast is. Definitely a lot more entertaining. And I just want to see it because of the Winter Soldier. I want to see it because of U.S. Agent, and I want to see it because of Bob Sentry. And maybe he's picking up his mantle of the Void, his alter ego persona. And then whatever else they'll have as far as Easter eggs and references as well in the movie. For Thunderbolts releasing in, I believe, May of this year. So that's just what I'm looking forward to, that movie. But yeah, what about you, Jay?
Thunderbolts should be like it's pretty good. I'm expecting 10 out of 10 action. I'm expecting like a decent, like solid movie. The only one, and I know we're on Thunderbolts. The one I'm really looking forward to this year is really Fantastic Four, because that has the potential to be the greatest amongst everything that came out this year, to keep it real.
And that's releasing in what again? In June or July?
Give me a second. July, I believe. Let me see. It's coming out. Oh, come on, you stupid. Oh, First Steps. There we go. It's coming out July 25th. And it's like set in like it's set in like the Hanna-Barbera era. Not what I see.
Yeah. Yes, Fantastic Four First Steps is actually one of the ones I've been. That's probably the most anticipated movie of this year.
Yeah,
And
because
I was
Marvel's
kind
got
of
their hands on it, and it looks amazing. How the theme looks, it looks amazing. They got
yeah,
Herbie the robot, which I was so happy to see that he's not just an AI program like in the cartoon series. Not the other
mhm,
one, the new one they made, World's Greatest Heroes. He's like an AI program, some of the Iron Man's, Jarvis and things like that. But they
yeah,
gave him a robot body. He's like helping thing cook. I love all that. That looks really good. And also, like it's like if you pay attention and guys, you know what? Let's go to the trailer again because I know it's everybody's seen this thing, but I want to go over some things because only a 90s or 80s kid would understand like how this whole frame like like the setting or like what the age of what they're hitting on because pay attention to a lot of the furniture and things like that. It's set in like not 60s, but it's set in like the 70s type era.
yeah.
If you
And
didn't
the thing about
watch,
Fantastic Four First Steps, right? Uh, I had my issues with some of the casting, but I'm willing to give it a shot as far as what the movie can produce, as far as the storyline and plot line. Um, and again, it's set in a different 70s, 60s era, in another multiverse, maybe another Earth, maybe. Uh, and Reed Richards being paid by Pedro Pascal wasn't my first choice, but it's the one he got. He's I think it's because of popularity and the fact he's been more mainstream and he's clearly a great actor. Nothing taken away from him. He's one of my favorites, but I'm willing to see the storyline and the fact that they have Galactus in it, which I've been waiting for the last at least 10, 15 years to show a decent portrayal of him because in the original Fantastic Four movies that I grew up with Ian Rufford and Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, and uh, I'm trying to remember the actor who played the Thing from the Shield, Michael Chiklis. Michael Chiklis, like all those guys. We didn't really get an actual great portrayal of the character in True Justice, and for him to be here in the movie is just something I've been waiting for a long, long time. I like Sue Storm, the casting for Sue Storm, and I'm with the Thing, who the actor is. But
and
I want
by the way,
to.
I want to say something. That actor that plays the Thing, he's the guy. He's the guy that was in the Punisher season 1 that was helping Frank all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody knew that, but that's him.
Yeah, and also I believe he was in like other hit series. I believe I'm not mistaken, maybe Game of Thrones or some big series like that in that regard. But yeah, so we'll see how it is. I'm iffy on the whole
We make a point to do family.
Fantastic Four
Yeah.
of the
Sorry
Human
about that. Go
Torch.
ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. I was gonna say I'm still trying to see how Human Torch is portrayed because to this day I think Chris Evans nailed it as a live action
there's multiple variations of Johnny. It's just that
yeah,
the thing is, he's a hothead. He cares about his sister though. He cares a lot about his
yeah,
sister.
for
Don't
sure.
forget that. Yeah.
For
he cares
sure.
about Thing. He cares about Thing. He cares about Reed. And like I said, they're more of a, they are. The thing is, what Incredibles did. What the Incredibles did was they tried to do the same thing the Fantastic Four was. They set set like kind of like CG 3D animation,
Yeah.
and then that's
Yeah.
what the Incredibles are. Because they're a family. Fantastic Four is legit a family, even though the Guardians try to portray that. It really.
Well, they consider the Fantastic Four Marvel's first family. I think today is the
Yeah. They are
originally.
Marvel's first family. So that's why I have faith MCU will get this one right because there's not multiple writers on it. It's a good director, and you know what? Let's just look at this again.
Family dinner every week. Sunday at 7 on the dot, no matter what.
Now you see how all this looks. It's like so when I look at this, I think the Jetsons, and anybody who is a 90s or 80s boy or girl, y'all know what I'm talking about because Hanna-Barbera literally is the creator of the Jetsons, and I literally thought Jetsons when I saw this because that coloring is the exact same that I saw in that damn TV series. So let's play the rest of this.
What? We're all here.
Herbie.
Look, hold on. Look at how that building looks. That looks fire to me, and it's rocking a retro look that I really like. And like I said, I won't pause it too much, but I just want to point out certain scenes, and I'll pause it one more time when we get to the robot real quick.
Herbie, how's that
Right here.
sauce coming?
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
Okay. Okay. Is this guy good or what?
I want to add a couple cloves of garlic.
And see, like I said, you're buying me on this like old school look of a robot put together around the 70s or the 80s time, which is very believable, almost on some ET phone home alien stuff. But I just love the colors. The colors are working for me on this. That's why I said, I'm like, this looks so different than a freaking standard Marvel film.
Not because it's not delicious. I just want to add a little bit of zip. Okay?
T-5. Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock. The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
Oh,
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together. As a family.
now Marcus, what are the first things that come to your mind when you see that damn trailer?
Well, I definitely see the camaraderie and the teamwork there from being a Fantastic Four. Clearly, I see like the whole Jetsons, like you said. That was the first thing I thought of when I first saw it. I kind of
I said the same thing.
Yeah. So, am I looking? The only thing that kind of throws me off too is the fact that it's a different timeline, and if it's going to be connected to the MCU, which it's supposed to be. It's set in a different dystopian future, semi in the past in a different alternate Earth, and also the fact, like I said, of showing Galactus. So I'm interested in that part, and I'm interested what the post-credit scenes are, the Easter egg references, all that kind of stuff, or cameos, or whoever else it's going to have in there in the movie, and what they're going to build on, and seeing if we're going to have those versions, because same way we had the John Krasinski's, Reed Richards, and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, who else are we going to see eventually besides them in the foreseeing future for the MCU journey so far?
Yeah, for me, let's see. I'm excited to see this. I'm excited to see they said Fantastic Four. Oh, hold on. You gotta go back to Uncle Guns' top comment. They said Fantastic Four in the 60s. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The thing looks good. The suits look good. They better bring it. I agree with that, because you know what? Their suits look like the suits from the 90s, 80s cartoon that I watched when I was a kid, when it was on Boomerang. Anybody who had Boomerang know what I'm talking about.
And then also what Uncle Gun said.
About that. Go ahead.
Yeah, he said it, and the fact that it has John Malkovich in it, which is also a good sign. And then whoever doesn't know who John Malkovich is, he's a longtime actor, decorated actor. Many movies like Red. He was in like the Transformers movie and Dark of the Moon. He's in a plethora of other movies along the lines, especially even before all that. So for him to be in this, it's very interesting, and it's definitely one of the great actors that, especially in the last couple 20, 30 years, for what he can do and implement in the movie as a character. Pedro Pascal, again, is a great actor. Also the actor from Stranger Things season 4, who played Eddie. He's playing the Human Torch. Vanessa Kirby, she's playing the Sue Storm. She's a great fit. And, Sue Storm has always been one of those pretty women from the Marvel universe from this, female heroines, So we're I'm definitely stoked. Hopefully get to show a rogue gallery of villains that the Fantastic Four faces too, because I know the Super Skrull was kind of already put in Secret Invasion, but the Fantastic Four does face the Skrulls. They faced the Kree. They faced Annihilus, and they faced clearly like Galactus and a plethora of other villains like Doctor Doom, all that kind of stuff. So. Definitely appreciate you, Uncle Guns, too, with the copyright disclaimer too. Appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
So just stuff like that.
But everything that we saw, like that retro car, that retro space rocket, like please tell me.
It's all vintage Fantastic Four.
Vintage Fantastic Four, exactly. When I saw all that, I was like, thank you. You're giving me something different, and you're giving me something on my childhood that I remember. Because like I said, everybody knows that old Fantastic Four cartoon. They wore them damn suits. I don't mean like they wore all blue and then just black. That comes later on, but they wore like the white and the blue, light blue color. It wasn't dark.
Yeah, because even in the movies from the 2000s, right, with Chris Evans and Jessica Alba and all of them,
they were navy blue.
Yeah, well, the fact that they even had the Fantastic Four mobile, the hover car that was Dodge, and they had even when Chris Evans looks at Ian Grufford's Fantastic Four, Reed Richards' character, he tells him, "Is this a Hemi?" And he was able to do a hover vehicle along with the Hemi, and I think he even had it. He had it in the second movie, right? In Rise of the Silver Surfer, they had it there, and it was just cool. It's interesting. But yeah, man, it's come to pass now. So we had that 2005 iteration of Fantastic Four. Then we had that abysmal 2015 version. And, now we have this one. So they each have one in a different decade. So we'll see what happens and going forward.
We have Fan Four Stick, which is the one I never watched and I never will watch. I don't care what it says. The only thing I know is that, whatever my man Michael B. Jordan does, he's always like the shout out character and everything. That's all I know. That's all I got told. That was a bad movie, but at least he was good. That's crazy. So, Marcus, what else we got?
Yeah, I was beginning to talk about DC Studios now that we're done with Marvel.
All right. Okay, good. Let's get to this Superman thing that you want to talk about. Is that the one?
Yeah, Superman for sure.
All right, now you got to talk about. You got to, as you speak, I'll begin to remember stuff, but all I know is that there's some not good things that I'm hearing about it. Runtime and
yeah, could you put
some stuff about James Gunn?
Could you pull up any website information more first on the Superman if you can, just for people can see on the live or in the recording or on the replay as we're talking about Superman, just like images and stuff.
You want like images of the movie?
Like images of like still shots of.
Okay, still shots. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, because I know like throughout the trailer, it had also like Mr. Terrific. It had Hawkgirl,
Guy Gardner's Green Lantern, which we're also going to talk about the Green Lantern series in a little bit, and other upcoming projects soon. Probably that'll be the end of the stream, but probably have like another half hour or so in the stream or so. But yeah, just talking about the DC studios, like DC universe of it. All the characters, the villains. Lobo, being played by Jason Momoa. That's cool. I found something funny. Somebody put Will Smith in the Superman outfit. It's hilarious.
Oh no. I did hear that Hancock 2 is being made. So I'm like kind of like that came out of nowhere.
I don't really care for that anymore. I think it's probably. I think Hancock is a one and done story. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real.
Yeah. When they came to, I'm also interested to see the portrayal of Lex Luthor with Nicholas Hoult playing him as the titular arch nemesis of Superman, and Crypto. Superdog. So seeing all that kind of stuff coming to light is interesting too.
Guys, give me a second. I'm about to share you some images right here, but I'm gonna share screen it because it'll be easier. See, Will Smith. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so here's some set pieces right here. A little bit right here. I think this is one with him and Crypto right here. This is the actual.
Yeah.
That's one right here, and also this suit right here that he has on. Yeah, nobody likes that suit at all, and I understand why.
Yeah, I still prefer the Henry Cavill suit for some reason.
Dude, the new 50, like Henry Cavill suit is a new 52 suit. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. So, but then again, this is James Gunn's direction, so I'm gonna give James Gunn the chance. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt until he shows me otherwise. Because I did like his version of the Suicide Squad, the second one, better than I did the original one, because the original one was trash with Will Smith and stuff in it. But yes, you see here, you see him fight, and then there's like Ultraman too. Yeah, like there's Ultraman supposedly. Like I've watched Ultraman in the trailer already, and I've seen him, and I think here's where maybe, in my opinion, where Superman fights Ultraman, or maybe he had an encounter with Lex Luthor, maybe in his suit.
I'm gonna lie, that would be pretty fire if they're doing that.
Yeah.
Did you see what? Because remember, I think it's called Superman Legacy, right?
I believe so. And I'm also wondering too if Batman, what Batman they'll have in this universe.
They're probably not gonna put him in the movie, and I can understand why, because we don't know what Batman we're getting.
Yeah, because I know that. Right, correct. Because we have Robert Pattinson, which thank you for reminding me, Jay, because we definitely need to talk about that too. But yeah, people like there's already this established universe. They have villains already. They've already faced. So I'm wondering who Darkseid will be played by. I'm wondering who maybe Mongol, maybe Vandal Savage, a Brainiac. Those type of villains. I want to see how that gets played out.
Everybody, this outfit. I don't want to cut you off, Mark. I'm sorry, but this outfit reminds me of two things right here. It reminds me of vintage Superman when he first got created, and it also reminds me of Kingdom Come Superman. How that design on that suit looks with that black right here.
Yeah.
This one right here. It's giving me those vibes. The only difference is it's not like, I guess, like a little, the shade of the tint is a little bit darker or something like that. But if he's fighting Ultraman, I mean, that'd be pretty fire. But you gotta maybe care about the Superman right here.
Uncle Gunn's comment made me fun. I'm gonna read Uncle Gunn's comment. It said, "I'm mad. I'm mad that the State Farm Batman commercial is the most DC accurate thing I've seen since Batman '89."
Okay, that's hilarious.
Ha. You know what, Uncle Guns? I'm kind of semi-disagree with you, because I thought that Robin Pattinson's Batman.
Yeah, his Batman
nostalgic
was probably was pretty. And I ain't gonna lie, I've actually recently, so I've been watching this channel that's reacting to all the Nolan Batmans, and Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne. I don't care for his Batman as much, but I love his Bruce Wayne is on point. But when I watch Robert Pattinson's Batman, it's like, dude, I love both. His Batman and his Bruce Wayne, because it's a Bruce Wayne who hasn't got his shit together right now.
Right. Correct.
But he's and in the way Pattinson was able to get away with it was he could portray brooding and darkness. He could portray a brooding character very well. It's kind of like his thing. Same as Keanu. But yeah, like the Pattinson Batman was probably like, that was a long film, but everybody goes back to rewatch that, even if that shit is 2 hours. Like, it's one of the best. But Batman Begins, and how you doing, Romano Productions, man? Nice to have you up here.
What's
up? It's been a
man?
minute, man.
How you doing?
And man, one of the best Power Ranger fans out there. I respect him. Yeah, but Pattinson's Batman was more realistic too. Like, he's not just jumping out of windows and things like that, but he's still he takes hits, but I think that Batman was kind of like busted in terms of durability, because he's taking shotgun blast to the chest was ridiculous. That's the only thing I think that was ridiculous. Right? You're taking shotgun blast is ridiculous. And MK-47s, but yeah. But what do you want to say about Pattinson's Batman that you liked? Or I guess like because the thing is they were talking about doing a Court of Owls movie for his second one because they're not trying to go into the supernatural like big villains or whatever like that. They're trying to keep it grounded.
Yeah, well, when it came to the Batman sequel, I always wondered that I always listed the villains that to come would be Hush, which I heard that that's going to be the main villain in the second one, which is something I'm open to, but at the same time, Court of Owls, Mr. Freeze, and Clayface. I think we definitely need to see those iterations because the Arnold Schwarzenegger one I don't really count it as an actual good one for him. I do think that we need to get a true justice to Dr. Mr. Freeze because he's an arch nemesis also of Batman, and also seeing maybe Clayface, Hush, Court of Owls. Those are the kind of things we haven't seen so far portrayed in the light, unless it was like, maybe we've seen it in video games or in the animation, but to see it live action and a good story for Matt Reeves to write, we have to see that because the rogue gallery is wide and vast for the Batman. So that's why I say, hey, Robert Pattinson even said it himself. He's like, I want to be able to shoot these movies before I get older, because Robert Pattinson is not going to get any younger, and especially if you want to implement him in a certain universe. The fact that the first Batman, it opened up to the Arkham Asylum, then they had that scene with the Riddler and the Joker. The Joker will be built up. I think by the end of this movie, you might see some Joker-ish stuff. Maybe it'll make sense. And then by the third movie, you see Joker along with other villains or something like that. And I could see that, just like how they did it in the Arkham Asylum video games or Arkham City and Arkham Knight, it would make sense. Hopefully we get to see something with Mr. Freeze and Clayface and Joker or something like that. It would just make sense, in my opinion. And hopefully Robert Pattinson gets to meet up with Robin and Batgirl and maybe a Nightwing or something in that regard, the Red Hood. That would be awesome too. Keep it grounded,
Exactly. Now, I think if I were to go in order, I guess I'll say this. Yeah, I like the Keaton Batmans. Like they said, they're good. I like Batman Returns more because Catwoman's in that one and Penguin's hilarious. I think that's the best one. Joker one, even though Jack Nicholson one is hilarious in some regards, I like Returns better than the first one. If I had to really be fatigued about that one. When it comes to Christopher Nolan's version, because I don't care about the George Clooney one. Except that Batgirl looked hot as fuck from what I remember when I was a kid. And Robin is Robin. He's cool.
Let me just say this real quick, Jay, real quick for Uncle Guns. Uncle Guns comment. Pattinson Batman is good. Pattinson emo Wayne is meh for me. That's funny. But he's young, like year 1, year 2. So I can overlook it. Penguin TV series was great. They better hurry on Pattinson's sequel. Haha. And then Romana Productions says Keaton and Ben Affleck are my favorite Batmans. Actually, I think Ben Affleck gets underrated, but I think it's because of what happened with that DC universe. That's why. And then
thanks for that, Ben Affleck. Yeah, for that one.
Yeah. And then Uncle Gun says to Romana Productions, watch the 3-minute full version one. Watch it 4 to 5 times. Looks unbelievable. And then Romana Productions goes, Uncle Guns, I will. I didn't even know there was a different version. Yeah. So. Yeah. It is. But yeah. And the thing too about it is, the thing that I like about Batman's universe too, the Rogue Gallery, you can actually have them with individual series too. Other villains
same
too.
Thing with like Spider-Man. Like I'll keep it real with you. Spider-Man has a Rogue Gallery that you cats don't even know much. I'm not saying to the cats that are in the comments. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the cats who don't read Spider-Man books. Like y'all don't know Molten Man. Y'all don't know the Jackal. Y'all don't know like any of these Spider-Man like Rogue Gallery characters that get brought in. The only ones you kind of know of just because they get they get a lot of wink to them, is Venom, Green Goblin, Carnage,
Doc Ock.
Obviously Doc Ock, and Electro just finally now got some push.
And don't forget, like the Lizard was pushed, and then the Sandman was pushed.
Sandman. I think, and then after that, you start running out of shit to talk about. Nobody brings up Scorpion. Nobody brings up the Rhino. Nobody brings up freaking Kraven the Hunter. That's one of his
arch nemesis too.
Yep.
And then remember too, like Hydro Man. Don't forget Hydro Man.
We have Hydro Man, Morbius, Molten Man. I said the Jackal.
Yeah, and then Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin. Yeah, like I said, dude, he has a lot. He has really a lot. Just like Batman.
The
That's why I
Spot.
said they're very similar. The Spot is one of them, but that's one of Miles's now.
I know.
At least for the Spider-Verse now. When we get back to that, I can't wait till we get to that, man.
Yeah.
Same here, Jay. I love Batman Returns. Love Michelle Pfeiffer. It's a Christmas tradition of mine. So yeah, dude, I watch that every Christmas. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
If I get a wife, she watching that with me. No excuses.
But as far as the Batman goes, that's where I think that they can implement one or two season series of a certain character's depth or arc, where maybe after their arc ends, because the Penguin's going to be already confirmed that Penguin's character will be in the following Batman movie with Robert Pattinson returning. And then I liked Commissioner Gordon's take on him too. I like the actor who played Commissioner Gordon. I thought it was interesting seeing this version of Alfred Pennyworth too. And along the line,
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis, who everybody who knows Andy Serkis, who he's played Caesar from Planet of the Apes. He's played Ulysses Claw in the MCU. He's played a plethora of other characters like Gollum and Smeagol in Lord of the Rings, and a plethora of other characters. But to see him play Alfred Pennyworth is cool, and a different take than what Michael Caine did in the Christopher Nolan trilogy. And to see that dynamic between Commissioner Gordon and Batman was cool too, because I got used to seeing Gary Oldman playing Commissioner Gordon with Batman and Christian Bale. So now that we get to see this iteration now, it's interesting. And going forward too in the future, we'll see who the daughter or the niece, of Commissioner Gordon is to hopefully play Batgirl. And then hopefully we get to see a Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, and Jason Todd of Robins, hopefully as well in the future. So yeah, I mean, other than that, for the Batman 2, there's not really much I can really say other than Hush, Mr. Freeze, Court of Owls, and hopefully praying Clayface too, a good version, along with the Joker, because clearly those are the 5 villains I think that are for Batman to be in, because the Joker is already being kind of semi amped up with Barry Keoghan from the Eternals playing him, and it was very interesting.
The thing is, we've overdone the Joker too much, personally, in my opinion.
Yeah. But you know what though? I blame Todd Phillips and them for doing that Joaquin Phoenix one, because if now you do that, now you throw us off with this, because we're getting this over here with Batman, and we're getting Barry Keoghan's Joker, who's a younger Joker, which clearly I'm thinking they can try to build up to having a in Justice League, in my opinion, hopefully, or a dark team up of these rogue villains as well. Because Deathstroke, I was waiting to see him, and he was in the old universe. Now he's in this one. And then for Todd Phillips to do what he did with the first Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, which he won an Oscar for, and then do this one, the sequel, which was atrocious, which was just a waste of time and waste of your money. And
by the way, guys, I never did see the second one, so I already knew it was gonna be bad. And I keep
horrible.
I didn't know, because all I had to do is, like I said, when everything, I tell people this, when Fan Forster came up, I've never seen the whole internet in agreement that this whole thing is bad. Not Rotten Tomatoes. I'm talking about every YouTuber. It's the same thing with Joker 2. The same thing I got. I'm like, okay, save my money, because the thing is, if you're not going to do that pairing correctly, then I don't give a damn to see it. So thank goodness I saved my money. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Sonic 3 was the better out for me, so thank God.
Yeah.
That was worth my money. Now, with that being said, and yes, that is giving Sonic 3 more W's than Joker 2, because I'm like, come on, dude, you did a great one, and then you shit on the second one. That made no sense. Yeah, like I said, we just need to get away from Joker personally. And like I said, to me, still to this day, the best Joker is Heath Ledger. After rewatching Dark Knight, yeah. And by the way, I'll keep it real. That means that the best part of Dark Knight is the Joker. After watching it over, yeah. Like, it never went down. He made everything amazing. But I think that's all I have to say about the sequel, about what we get, like Courthouse or things like that. I think it's that simple for me. Whatever. Now let's get to the Green Lantern talk. Marcus.
Oh yeah, if you want to pull up some still shots of the Green Lantern, you have the Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. In those guys.
I think I should talk about this part because I'm black.
This guy. Well, you definitely feel free to.
I'm being funny, but it's the truth because people were like bitching about it, and I'm like, okay, so.
Yeah, and the thing is too is like I'm not completely mad at who they casted for Jon Stewart. I'm just thinking I could have seen him like Cyborg or like who's the other guy, Icon or like something like that. Maybe because Icon isn't just revered as a more popular DC character. Maybe that's why they didn't put him there. But I could have seen him like a Cyborg or a. I wouldn't want to say Black Lightning because then maybe that's a little too stereotypical. I didn't want to do all that, but maybe Black Lightning, the Icon, and then there's another one too that he could have played. But I'm still open-minded to seeing.
Icon doesn't get any love in the damn.
Bro, and that's crazy because he's actually a pretty powerful freaking hero.
One time you see Icon is on Young Justice, which is hilarious. That's the only shine he ever got in anything. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and so see here, right? So Jean-Pierre, yeah, you take care, Uncle Guns. I appreciate it.
Take care, Uncle Guns, man. Thank you so much for being here, man. I appreciate you, man. Man, you be safe, all right, man. Hope to have you on. I hope you have on the show every once in a while.
For sure.
All right. Continue, Marcus.
Yeah, so I mean, right here we have the established universe, and if you notice, we have already Guy Gardner and Superman, with being played by the actor, and I can't remember his name at this moment, but he's a well-known actor in Guy Gardner's character over there. But we have here Jean-Pierre, and we have the other gentleman here playing Hal Jordan. And I think that's what's his name again? Jay, the guy here, is it something Russell? Playing Hal Jordan.
Hal Chandler.
There you go. I'm sorry. There you go. So yeah, but right now in this version, it's going to be a Hal Jordan that's been around for years now, playing Hal, retiring, and then giving the mantle of Jon Stewart to giving the mantle of Hal Jordan's Green Lantern to giving it to Jon Stewart here to him. So it makes sense because on Earth there's multiple Green Lanterns. The other one is clearly Kyle Rayner.
Kyle Rayner. So this is the order it goes in. It's Hal Jordan,
Jon Stewart,
Guy
Gardner, Kyle Rayner.
Guy Gardner, then Kyle Rayner.
Yeah. And if you're really going to go back to the original, then you have Alan Scott back in the day.
Alan Scott, but that's just a society, though. But
yeah, it's just a society.
Yeah. So, hold on, let me go back to the images. I was trying to go into the cast and things like that. So yeah. But yeah, Kyle Rayner is the most interesting one because he's a cartoon artist.
Oh, there you go. That's the actor's name. My bad. Nathan Fillion, who's playing Guy Gardner. There you go. Nathan Fillion. But yeah, so you have these three versions, iterations of Green Lantern. So I'm rooting forward in the future to see Kyle Rayner. But for now, I'm just happy to see Jon Stewart, a live action version of him, and then Hal Jordan for who he was at the time. But and then we have Sinestro in here too in the series. So we'll see whatever other plethora of villains they have for the Lanterns. I want to see how the Guardians look of Oa. I want to see how their interactions are with maybe Kilowog and a couple other Lanterns in the Lantern Corps. And we get to see a full spectrum of the colors of the rings, not just the Green Lanterns, the yellow rings, because Sinestro's in it, the red rings, the blue lanterns, like the red lanterns, black and white maybe. And this series, if it's successful, it can go on for several seasons because you have all these different lanterns and the different colors of the spectrum and type of thing. But yeah. What are your thoughts,
well, my thoughts is it's gotta be a successful season. My limit is like maybe 2 seasons, if anything, and then we'll see how further down the rabbit hole it can go. But because the thing is, because we get to Red Lantern, you have to introduce atrocities and shit. If you're gonna introduce, I don't think they're gonna introduce Larfleeze, the Orange Lantern, because there's only one Lantern of that color, because it's too greedy, selfish, and things like that. But listen, just give me a good cast of Lanterns around Jon Stewart or some shit like that, and make it about him, make it about his journey, him learning from these guys, and just him coming into it, him coming into his own Lantern. That's simple for me. That's all I care about. And also, let me talk about the controversial bullshit. He's not black enough. Shut the hell up with me. Hal Jordan is black. Not fucking. Doesn't matter what shade to me. I don't give a shit. So I just think that's a real dumb ring. I don't want to get the hate. Yeah. I just, like I said, that's just how I shake that bullshit to me every time I hear it.
Crazy how colorism works, right?
Yeah, right. It's colorism. Thank you. But yeah. So with that being said, I have nothing further to say on this. Just, hey man, give me a goddamn trailer already, or just bring the goddamn show up. Well, I need to see a trailer first, and then after that,
I'm pretty sure
I'll watch it.
I'm pretty sure it'll be out like in the next 2 months, in my opinion.
And we have a trailer to it at all, have we? You said next 2 months?
Yeah, I can see it in the next 2 months, maybe. I mean, like at least a teaser.
For a teaser? Hey man, listen. I'll wait for Peacemaker before this shit. If it's gonna take that long, at least Peacemaker is good. That was the last good DC show. That was a good DC show that they worked out that nobody expected to be good. But John Cena made that shit work. That shit was hilarious. Oh man! All right, now guys. Now, Marcus, have we covered all the topics?
I think we have so far, unless you wanted to talk about anything else.
Okay, there's guys. Okay, Marcus, I'm gonna question. Guys, I'm only gonna continue this one last thing if Marcus has seen everything. Marcus, have you finished all of season 3 of Invisible, right?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Okay, cool. Season 3 as a whole, what did you think?
Oh, I thought it was great. I think it was probably right there with season 1, as far as anticipation for what's to come and the battles and the fights and stuff. Especially that last fight with Conquest, and taking everybody to do what they had to do to take him down. And then what's the build-up for the following season and who's to come? Alan the Alien, of course, Invincible himself, Mark Grayson. He's coming into it, especially with that black and blue suit. So, in his arc as well.
Okay. Yeah, for me, season 3 is by far the best season. Oh, so good. We had the Invisible War. We had her and Adam Eve this season. We've had the best fight ever to be animated on freaking Amazon Prime, y'all. Conquest vs. Invisibles. Oh, it was good, bro. I'm sorry, man. I could watch that fight 10,000 times. And I'm gonna say this about Conquest. He don't discriminate, y'all. Equal rights, equal lefts, man. The way Adam Eve just got her face like her face punched off, along with her being impaled, I was like, damn, Conquest, like I respect Viltrum. Like, I don't care if you're a man or a girl, like they'll beat the living hell out of you. It was literally one of the most grossest, ridiculous fights that I've ever seen in my life, and I was like, yeah, at least for a comic book as it goes.
I'm gonna real quick, Jay. Yeah, go ahead. Shout out to Conrad, to Real Podcast Clips. Shout out to him for being here. Salute to all. Salute to you, man.
Yeah, shout out to the Real Podcast Clips, man. Shout out to you, dude. Hey, man, thanks for letting me on your stream, man. Sorry I had to leave. I was only there for about 45, almost to an hour. I had to work the day after. I apologize for that, man. I'll try to be on a little bit earlier next time. And also, it'd be cool to have you up here to do an interview with you, dude. Seriously. Yeah, with that being said, though, but dude, that fight was crazy. Jesus. Like Jeffrey Morgan killed the character Conquest. He literally killed it. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Dean and Sam Winchester's dad, and shout out to Negan from Walking Dead. So, shout out to that. To the comic characters. And shout out to Robert Kirkman, the creator of the Invisible books, man. He knows what he's doing. Season 4, I'm looking forward to it. If I have to wait till next year, well, obviously I have to wait till next year. I hope it comes out next February, which would be awesome. That'd be pretty cool. But with that being said, y'all, please leave a like, leave a comment below, all that jazz. And it helps the video, helps share it, spread it around. And I don't know if me and my buddies tonight are gonna do a stream about anime. I gotta see if they're all good to go, because we have a lot to talk about. Because we actually might talk about Invisible tonight too. We'll have to talk about it again to go into further detail. We might do that, but because we got to talk some anime about what's out and what's possibly coming out, and from April all the way to June. So yeah, we'll talk about the spring anime soon.
Yeah, definitely. And I also want to take a shout out to, and I don't want to interrupt Jay. Go ahead, finish.
No. I'm done. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, everybody, I appreciate you guys being here on the live, and then whoever's going to watch on the replay, leave comments, critiques, suggestions, opinions, anything that you guys think about we should talk about eventually on this channel. I know we've been on a hiatus for a bit. Jay's schedule, my schedule, Wally's schedule, we've all been busy, and we just apologize for those that have been waiting for the content. Chill streams that will definitely be back on rotation eventually throughout the duration of this channel. I know we've been for a long time without a chill stream session. We talked about Marvel, DC, Invincible. We want to talk about movies, series, films, anime, gaming, anything other stuff that's trending as well, and sports as well. We definitely want to talk about sports, NBA, NFL, MMA, UFC, and other projects as well. We're hoping to see Stranger Things 5 this year, and The Last of Us Season 2 is coming out soon. And then, a plethora of other series as well.
Marcus, say that again. You said Stranger Things?
Yeah, Stranger Things Season 5. Should be the end of that show on the...
Yo, guys, I didn't even know Stranger Things was still going. I thought it was done after 4.
No, they're building up Season 5 to be like I think the episodes, how they're making them, are like movies, so they'll be long episodes, and it's the final season at least. OG Patrice, thank you for being here.
OG Patrice,
shout out to you.
God.
And me see you in a minute. Hope you've been well. Sister,
I have not heard from you in a long time, and And while you're here, you should know. Shout out to Brother Clarence for introducing OG Patrice to us. May rest his soul and everything. It's because of him we got to meet OG Patrice, literally. So I was going to say shout out to that brother. And OG, it's good to see you again. Really good to see you.
Yeah. And like I said too earlier, a future of this channel moving forward, and for all the people that have been here in the past, and right now in the present and the future, definitely shout out to the Takashi Media Group, and then clearly rest in peace to Brother Clarence, because he's actually one of the souls, people that I actually enjoyed having conversations with, and even though we had different opinions or perspectives, he had that platform for us to talk about things. And we had people from different walks of life. So shout out to OG Patrice, the Real Podcast Clips, aka Conrad, Ramona Productions, Uncle Guns, and then clearly Jay for letting us have this channel here, this platform. And everybody just comment, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, like suggestions, questions, critiques, criticism, whatever the hell you guys need to do, your opinions, or just a funny comment is appreciative. Support the platform if you can. And hit the Cash App. I'm definitely going to be adding my Cash App eventually. I just I don't really look at it as making money, and more enjoying the time to do the content and a hobby for it. And OG says, thank you, young men, for that. I miss Bro Clarence so very much. Definitely miss him. I don't forget people like that in my life.
Always shout out to that man. Things that he did for his community, the people who he influenced, his family, all that. I did a stream dedicated to him. He said, rest in peace, Brother Clarence. Literally said that. And it sucked that I had to do that, but I needed to do it. Because those are good people to me all personally. So that's always been my thing. Like I don't like it when terrible shit is good people personally. That's always been me. Who I am in my core. That things having that bad people, I don't give two shits for it, because it's just who they are, and then that helps me sleep better at night. But knowing that the good people are still around and things like that. But glad to know you're doing okay, OG Patrice. It's really good to hear from you. I was wondering if I'd ever hear from you. Now I'm just waiting to hear from Princess K to hope she's okay. Haven't heard from her in a very long time.
Glad to know you're doing well too, OG Patrice. I appreciate you. We definitely do. I'm glad you're okay. Glad you're checking
Marcus,
in.
If you're in these spaces, Marcus, if you're in these spaces, let me know if you run across Princess K again, so we can talk to her again, because we gotta give it.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't seen her either.
You say you haven't seen her?
No, I said, to be honest, since you brought her up, I haven't seen much of her. Maybe because people have lives outside of YouTube, or things get caught up in the real world and stuff like that. So, hopefully she's doing okay. Yeah.
Right. And also, one last thing, before we end this, guys. This is our channel right here that will come to do our shorts or any videos of controversial topic. The Takashi Media Group. Join the new channel here if you haven't. This is the link right here. Like I said, screenshot it, or just feel the need to rewind the stream to go see where we had this up for a couple of minutes, so everybody can take the shot at joining us. It's me, Wally, and Marcus here. Eric Superman, as you see it. But yeah, we're there. We'll do a bunch of different things over there. This is always the go-to channel for certain things. That's what I want to make it to be. So, with that being said, thank you guys for your love, support, comments, everything, and your opinions too. I got to go to the gym real quick. And like I said, if you're lucky, I might do another stream tonight before I go to sleep, because like I said, I got some prep to do this whole week. Good to be on the stream again with Marcus again after a while. Like I said, we'll get back into the swing of things. Just been in a bit of a rut, trying to get that. I'm trying to be consistent this year. And like I said, I'm trying to make some big changes this year. So, like I said, hopefully I can do that. And I will do it. So, that being said, y'all have a great afternoon, Evening. We're in the evening. I'm gonna say afternoon. We're past afternoon. Have a good evening, y'all. Marcus, any last words?
Yeah, just like I said, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. If you're on the West Coast, you know, it's 2:00 right now. If you're on the East Coast, it's about 5:00 right now. If you're on Central Time, it's 4. And just make sure, like I said, hit the like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, you know, support the platform. Appreciate you guys. And we'll catch you next time live on this channel. For those who remember, said it's https://www.youtube.com/@ZTS024 capital. You know, so if you want to check us out here for the future content, again, we'll be having more stuff, talk about entertainment reviews, certain trending topics, you know, again, movie series, gaming, anime, sports, etc. So other than that, that's great. Great job today. I appreciate you guys. Catch on the replay. And until next time.
Yep. Peace out, guys. And have some Alfredo or spaghetti. Enough said.